Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel, and I'm really very excited to have you finally join me on here, where I want to pretty much share something that has been on my mind, and I think that you're going to get some value, as we also begin to wind down the year 2024. And so I've been studying a lot in the most recent times, and I'm not talking about my academic books. That's like trying to envision what the new year is going to be like. And I also thought that I should share with my community, people who have come to follow the body of my work. Perhaps it will also help you to know how to curate your goals ahead of the new year. And so today I want to talk about something that is very, very important, and that is the things that you should know, that you must know and do ahead of 2025, right? 2024 has been a very, 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 very impressive year. It's been a very, very strong year, in the sense that a lot has happened, since the COVID happened in 2020. It's been 4 years, and a lot of people still continue to struggle and grapple with the effect of the change that has occurred since in the last 4 years. And it's not going to change. A lot is still happening, particularly in the tech space, in the business ecosystem. A lot is changing. Technology is wiping away a lot of jobs, and even much more, creating even more bigger jobs, more bigger opportunities and all that. But it's important to ask yourself, what does this mean for you? And what is your way? How do you position yourself ahead of the new year? How do you become better? How do you achieve more in the new year? And how do you contribute more to whatever cause it is that you have come to believe in? And so today I want to talk about the things that you must know and do ahead of 2025. I'm going to talk about, first of all, I'm going to talk about 3 things that you should know ahead of 2025. Awareness, you should be very much aware about these 3 things. And then the other one, going to talk about 5 major things that you must do, prepare yourself to do in 2025. But before I get on talking about these things, it's important that I start by saying that you've got to be very, very honest with yourself by doing the very first thing I want to talk about, and that is appraisals for 2024. You want to, review how the year has been for you. At the beginning of every year, we all set out this very long list of, New Year resolution. We have this long list of New Year resolution, the things that we must achieve, the things that we really want to achieve for ourselves. And sometimes, and I always say that I don't believe in New Year resolution. I believe in life resolution. This simply means that anytime you wake up and decide to change your life, from that very minute, you can begin to alter the course of your life and decide the things that must happen in your life, right? And so you want to be able to do an appraisal as to how you have used 2024. What are the things that has happened for you in this year that has pretty much contributed to the things that you want to achieve for yourself in the future, to contribute to the goal and the visions that you have set for yourself. So how have you achieved them? What are the things that you have done more of that are in line with where you're going? What are the things that you have done less of? What are the things that has drained or sapped your energy and has prevented you from achieving your goals at some point? So what are the things that have discouraged you, and what are also the things that has empowered you? At what point did you experience significant changes in your life that has helped you to keep pushing against all odds? So you've got to be very honest to do appraisals, and you don't have to wait till the end of the year to be able to do this. You don't have to wait till the end of the year, till 31st of December, to be able to do appraisals of the results of the things that has happened for you. There are a lot of people that at this point, they have already concluded on their 2024 goals. They've already launched into 2025, and they're achieving all the results they can achieve for themselves. So it's really very, very, very important that you get to find out what exactly it is that you have done this year that has either contributed or reduced the results that you are originally supposed to achieve for yourself. So do an appraisal of 2024. What are the things that you've done for yourself? The second thing that I want to talk about is social media. How have you leveraged social media to empower your work? How have you leveraged social media to achieve more for yourself? How have you leveraged social media to do the things that you set out to do at the beginning of the year? Because a lot of things are happening on social media. As a matter of fact, these are no longer times where you want to stay and say, oh, you are an introverted person. You don't want people to see what you're doing. You don't want to be known. Right now, there are the consequences for our actions or inaction are very, very brutal, and do not give a damn as to the things that we don't want to do. You must do specific things to get specific results. And one of those things is how you are leveraging the social media space. In fact, on Facebook alone, statistically, there are over 2 billion people using Facebook, and you cannot, that number is crazy. and you can't be invisible to this number, if you are really looking forward to building, if you are looking forward to setting up businesses, if you're looking forward to reaching the world and expanding in your craft. And you've got to take it very seriously and ask yourself, what are the things that you are doing? I see quite a lot of people who, you want to ask yourself, some of the posts that you get to engage, the comments, the reaction, the places that you react on social media, the blogs, or all the places, the platforms you find yourself that are not in line with the goal that you have set for yourself. What exactly are you doing differently with social media to change the course of your goal, right? So those are the things you want to ask yourself. Let's drive right into it to ask about the 3 things that you must know ahead of 2025. One of them is that you've got to know that, possibility mentality is going to become a big deal in 2025. You've got to develop a possibility mentality. The fact that a lot of things are going to be crazily possible, and even it's already happening now with the advent of artificial intelligence. People are building all kinds of products that are revolutionizing the entire world, the history of human beings. And so you've got to develop that mentality. Unfortunately, a lot of people, even with all these changes that are happening, are still waiting for things to get back to normal, get back to the traditional way things have always been before. And this is not going to happen. So you're going to struggle if you do not even believe that these changes are already happening, and much more if you don't even believe that these changes can actually happen for you for the better. It can happen to you for the better. You can use it to achieve more results, more significant results, make more impact, make more money, and even help the world in more significant ways. So you've got to develop a possibility mentality in 2020 ahead of 2025. You don't have to wait till 2025 to develop this mindset. You have to start now, to start building, start psyching yourself up for a future that is possible for yourself. The second thing you need to know about 2025 is that it's going to be very value driven. It's going to be very value driven. It's going to punish people that are not valuable, people that are not focused on building value. They are going to suffer greatly for that, because even when you are not valuable in 2025, it will amaze you that even your friends are going to leave you. The kind of gap that is going to widen, the gap is going to widen, across all divides, because a lot of people have refused to get valuable with their craft, and it's going to not be so funny. So 2025 is going to be very value driven, and you've got to position yourself where you are seen as a person of value. And you are not just seen as a person of value, you are actually a very valuable person. You bring a lot of value in your communication, in your conversation, in your contribution, in your body of work. There's a lot of value. You're helping the world to become better. You're helping more people to either make more money, save more money, or even achieve more results in the things that they are doing, based on what you have said, who you have said you are, and what you do. So there's a second thing that you need to know ahead of 2025, because it's going to be very, very value driven, and you've got to key into that, into the place where you are learning more, you are becoming more, and you are also having to give more to the world in terms of value. The third thing you need to know is that automation is going to become a superpower. Automation is already happening now with artificial intelligence, where people are automating all kinds of processes. Business processes are being automated, and people are able to reach more people around the world, achieve more results, more incredible results from what they are doing. So automation is going to be a huge resource in 2025. And so if that is the case, you've got to find out, how do you position yourself ahead of this this change that is coming, so that you can actually achieve more, have more time to do all the things that you have set yourself to do. Because one of the things that is happening is that if you have to really depend on your own superpower, on your own manpower, on your own strength and energy to achieve specific results, first of all, you are very limited in the number of people you can actually reach by your strength, by your energy, because your energy is very, very finite. It's very finite. It can finish. You can break down, right? And so, but by the power of automation, you're able to reach way more people, in this age and time. For people that are building businesses online, think about, learning how to run Facebook ads, building email lists, attracting lead generation mechanisms and all that. But beyond that, figure out different parts of your life, even that are off the social media, which you can actually automate. So you've got to be able to figure that out and then automate all the processes you can in your life. Let me talk about the 5 things that you must do in 2025. 5 things you must do in 2025. One of them is that you have to become more intentional. You don't just have to be intentional. I want to believe that by now you have been very intentional about the things that you have been doing. But in 2025, the struggle, not just that it's the struggle, the distraction is going to increase. The things that are going to start seeking for your energy to achieve a whole lot more result for yourself in 2025. And so you've got to become more intentional about the things that you want to achieve for yourself. You've got to be more intentional about the results that you demand for yourself, more intentional about the places that you go to. You have to be more intentional about the association you keep, the post you make, the dress, your dressing, your conversation, your post, your comment, everything about you. You've got to be more intentional. Tighten the borders as to the people who have access to your energy, to your time, to your resources. You've got to be more intentional about how you build your life in 2025. And this is something only you can do, and no other person will ever do this for you. You want to be able to look out for that. Be more intentional in 2025. It is going to be needed of you because there's going to be a lot of distraction, but intentionality is going to help you to stay focused to your goal. It's going to help you to keep your energy conserved to be able to achieve the kind of results that you demand for yourself. Number two is that you have to be more valuable. Now, I know you are a person of value. That's even why you are here watching this video in the first place, because you want to get better at your craft and the things that you do. And so you want to become more valuable at your craft, at the things that you're doing. That means you have to read more books in 2025. You have to attend more events. You have to, go to more places. You have to find ways to, hack your mind by further exposing your minds to all the possibilities that are available to you. You have to be more valuable by supporting other people to achieve results, support other people to achieve results. Because there's this saying that, you see, by, helping other people to achieve their results, you also find ways of building foundation that help you to achieve your own result. And so by being more valuable, it means that you are helping more people to supporting other people to achieve their results, whatever it is that the goal that you have set for yourself. You are even learning more. You are investing more in yourself to become a better person than you were the previous day. And this is the second thing that you need to do. You must do, right? In 2025, you have to be more valuable in 2025. It is going to be needed of you. It's going to be a foundation as to the things that you will definitely get to achieve in 2025. The third point I want to give is don't be silent about the value that you bring to the table. Do not be silent. These are no longer times where you want to say, oh, you are very introverted. Listen, the consequences for our action or inaction are going to be very brutal in 2025. It's going to be very brutal. And so you don't have to be silent about the value. Once you know that there is a value that you have, once you have discovered a part of you that can help humanity, that can even help you to either make more money, help the world be a better place, the value that you have, which you can even help other people to either make more money, save more money, or become better versions of themselves. You don't have to keep that to yourself. It is said that statistically, there are over 8 billion people on planet Earth. And even here on social media, there are over 2 billion people. Even on Facebook alone, there are over 2 billion people using that. There is no way you don't have a significant portion or even a chunk or a portion of that number that will gain from the value that you have to give. Some of them, they are just waiting for your story, for your success story, for your expertise, for your experience to inspire them to become better persons. And so do not be silent about the value that you bring to the marketplace. So you have to go out there, talk about the things that you do in a way that it helps other people to connect better with you. And even much more, it helps them to want to pay you, to exchange that value for the money that they have to you. So you've got to be very, very vocal about the value that you have. If you are into the product business, you have to put it out there so that even a blind person can see the business that you have. You've got to put it out there, shout about it, so that even deaf people can hear about the business that you're doing, the things that you're doing, the value that you represent must be loud abroad. The Holy Book says something about, you are the light of the world, right? You are the light of the world in the sense that you are not permitted to be hidden. You are not permitted to be hidden. He said no person has ever lighted a candle and put it under a bushel. It has never happened where, you put up a light and then you cover it. The reason why the ring light in front of me is working very well is because it is very open. And it will be, I don't know what to say, but it will not make sense if I put up a ring light and then I still have to use a dark cloth to cover it. That means the use of the ring light is completely, not seen. It's not being utilized. And so you are a light. See yourself as a light that has to shine. And so you don't have any right to keep quiet if you have something that is valuable that the world can actually get to learn from. And so you want to look at it from that perspective and shine your light as bright as you can. Go out there, talk about the things you do. Present yourself in such manners that the world wants to connect with you and even much more exchange their resources with you at every point in time. The fourth thing that you must do in 2025, in fact, you have to start preparing yourself about doing it, is the fact that association is going to be a critical success factor. Your critical success factor in 2025 is going to be the quality of your association. And this is very key because right now, as there's this saying that 20 children can never play together in 20 years, right? And that simply means that association is moving, just like you can see charts in trading platforms. As charts are moving back and forth, that's also how association is also moving. As people are increasing in value, other people are reducing in value, other people are not able to work on themselves, their own value is reducing. While other people who are working on themselves, their value, the chart is increasing. And then there is this gap that is being created among these people. See, this simply means that even your friend, if you are not valuable in 2025, your association, the people that you think are in your network, are going to leave you completely, and the gap will be created. Now, they are not going to quarrel with you, they are not fighting with you, but you will just notice that you are no longer at the same frequency with them because you did not invest in yourself. And so you've got to be able to, that's one of the major reasons why you have to become more valuable, so that you can always stay ahead of these changes that also may affect the quality of network, the quality of association or relationship that you are able to keep for yourself. So association is going to be a critical success factor you will have in 2025, and you've got to be very intentional about the people that you give access into your space. And there are two ways I think that you should, that will help you to start curating the kind of association that will help you to succeed in 2025. And I'll also give like a bonus point again that will also help you as far as this point is concerned. Now, one of those ways is that you've got to become part of a community. You've got to become part of very quality community of, where there are quality minds, individuals who are results driven, result oriented, people who are really thinking big, people who are thinking big and looking forward to achieving big things for themselves. You've got to figure out these communities and find your way into those communities, become part of those communities. And there are several ways you can become part of those communities. You can become part of those communities by either you are volunteering, or so you see, the power of association cannot be overemphasized if you are ever going to achieve the results, or the kind of result, or the vision that you have set for your life, either as a person, as an organization, as a business, whatever it is that you're going to do. Trust me, building the right network, being part of the right association is going to be a very critical component of that success journey. And if this is going to be very, very important to your success journey, then I think it makes more sense for you to be more intentional about how you build this connection, how you build this relationship, how you be part of association that will help you to really become more successful in your life. And I'm going to talk about two ways you really want to start getting into association. And I'm going to give an example. Of course, I'm going to share some very personal experience as to the encounters that I've had way back before now, actually before, when I got to learn about some of these things. One of them is that, successful people, is really very difficult to get into the network of successful people. Why? Because they've done a lot of work to build that particular chain. And so for you to just come as a foreign body to get into that space is really very, very difficult. And so what do? It's very difficult for you to just get into people's spaces. People try to protect themselves, especially when they have done a lot of work to achieve a life of value, a life of significance, a life of impact. When people have built relevance, then you don't expect them to just be very vulnerable for you to just get into their space. And so there are a couple of things you need to do to be able to get into spaces that you're really admiring, people whose results are still your reality. I told you that you've got to be very intentional about identifying people whose results, whose realities are still your dreams, right? People who are living the kind of life that you are still dreaming about. You have to find a way to associate with them. However, it's not going to be easy to just find a way to get into these people's spaces until you do some of the things I'm going to talk about now. But let me talk about two ways you want to be able to start building very successful and sustainable and value-driven association. How do you build those connections? One of them is by being part of communities. You want to identify communities whose value align with your own value as well, whose direction aligns with your direction, whose purpose seems to be similar or the same thing, towards where you are going, whose reasons for being also aligns to your own reasons for being, and find a way of being part of these communities. In most cases, you can be part of these communities either by volunteering. Now, for you to volunteer, it also means you have to become a valuable person, either in the areas of your skill, your expertise, your experience, or you have a superior knowledge you can use to make this community better. You can use to contribute, to add value to these communities. That's one of the ways you want to volunteer. You don't volunteer with empty hands. You don't volunteer by being nothing. Trust me, nobody wants to relate with you when you have absolutely nothing to contribute to them. And it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter who they are. They can even be your brothers, they can be your friends. But once they discover you don't have any value you are bringing into their circle that also aligns to their own goals, their vision, and their dreams as well, trust me, it's not going to be easy for you to break into that space. And so what you want to do is to volunteer. Don't just be a part of a community just because you want to, just because it's a cliche to be part of a community. No, you want to contribute. You want to be a very contributing member of a community, a supportive member of a community. And one of the best ways to do that without any hassle is by volunteering. You want to volunteer, be part of communities that are moving forward. And what happens is that by helping them to succeed, by contributing your value, by helping, supporting them with whatever way you can, you are also building yourself up for a life of success, even without knowing it. And so be part of a community, identify those communities and find a way to be part of them. Some of them, you may need to pay to be part of those communities. Some of them may be free, but you may need to do certain things. But whatever it is, just make sure you are adding some value just to be different from the rest of the people who are there in the community. The second way is also, the second thing that you may have to do to curate some of this association is by building a community yourself. First, you become part of a community. Second, you build a community for yourself. And there are some of the ways that you want to build a community. Now, to build a community, there are three critical components that you will need. One of them, you need an ideology. You need a message that you need to pass. You need a solution that you have to a particular problem. You identify a problem, and then the solution that will help to contain those problems. And then you identify the group of people who are mostly associated, who are battling with that challenge that you have, you've gotten the solution about. I know you're getting what I'm saying. So first of all, you identify a problem that, that people are going through, and then provide solutions to that problem. Secondly, you now identify the people that are actually suffering from that challenge, who you can actually give those solutions. And then thirdly, you identify a platform, a place, a community. It can be a platform on social media. It can be YouTube, it can be Facebook, it can be Instagram, it can be Twitter, anywhere it is. It can even be a physical environment, a physical location where you can actually bring these people to in order to pass your message. That's what it takes to build a community. So you have to have an ideology, you have to have a vision, an idea that you want to pass. You have to identify the people that this message will speak to, and then a space where, a location where you will have to convey this message. Those are some of the things that you need to build a community. But whether you are part of a community or you are building a community yourself, what happens is that you begin to interact with people from diverse with diverse experiences, diverse exposure, from different backgrounds, people that have different access to different culture, different knowledge, different experiences and expertise. And this in turn begin to also help you to become way better, way better, more valuable. You start building a life of relevance because you are able to have direct impact on people, to help people, provide solution, suggest to them, consult for them, even make money as a result of your consultation or providing services to people in helping people to solve problems that are very peculiar to them. And I'm going to talk about the last thing that you must do in 2025, and that is the fact that you need to know that exposure and travel has become a critical part of the global game. Exposure and travel has become part of the game. And so you've got to invest in, make up your mind to invest in exposure, in your own exposure. You've got to make up your mind to invest in your own exposure. You see, I watched a particular trend that happened, from 2015, where in most cases, it used to be about the course of study that, the course or degree that people acquired from the university. It's now moved from that to the university that people studied. From there, it moved from not just university, but the quality of degree or certification that people had. A lot of people even started traveling abroad just to reinforce that they are better than their counterparts who they were in the same school with, probably in their country or something like that. And with time, while everybody started also elevating their games to that level, a lot of people started traveling, traveling for conferences, traveling for events, for seminars across the world, And from there, it also moved. Many people also started moving to speak at various international events, started accessing global stages. Trust me, if you are going to build very big, sustainable business, personal brand, whatever it is in 2025, you've got to invest in exposure and travels, because they have become a critical part of the game. All right, guys, so I want to believe that you've been able to get quite a couple of values. I wanted to share this, as we begin to prepare, wind down in 2024, to get into 2025. And of course, in every other year, these things are going to be very timeless truths, timeless knowledge that you can come back any other time. You can always watch them and they will make a lot of sense, right? Let me just try to do a recap just before we go. First, I said that ahead of the new year, you want to be able to do appraisals of the current year to ask yourself, how far have you gone in trying to achieve all that you set for yourself? The second thing is that you want to review how you have used social media to foster or drive the growth, drive all the plans that you have for yourself. Are you using social media very rightly, or are you still playing around with it, working around all the gossip platforms and all that are not in line with the future that you are trying to bet for yourself? And I spoke about 3 key things you need to know ahead of 2025. One of them is that possibility mentality is what you are going to need in 2025. You need to develop a possibility mentality. You need to believe that anything that you set your mind to do is possible and you can achieve it. Secondly, you need to know that value is going to be a key factor in 2025. You've got to become more value driven in 2025 to be able to access a lot of opportunities that otherwise have been very difficult for you in the past. Thirdly is that automation is going to grow higher. Automation is going to increase. So one of the things you want to do is to figure out all the ways you want to automate processes in your life. Find out all the things in your life that needs to be automated and automate as much as you can. 5 things you must do in 2025. Become more intentional. Become more intentional in 2025 is going to help your game. Become more intentional. Secondly, become more valuable in 2025. Contribute, support people to succeed, and you set yourself up for success as well. Number 3 is don't be silent about your value. Don't be silent about your value. If you discover the things that you're good at, your skill, your experiences, your knowledge and expertise, and you know they are helping to solve real problem, do not be silent about it. Go ahead and publish it out there. Go ahead and talk about it. Go ahead and demand that people must be part of the value that you have to bring in the marketplace. Thirdly, number 4, I said association has become a superpower. It's going to become a superpower. And I gave a lot of instances. One of the instances I gave is look at the US election. What has happened? It's not just because the Americans love Donald Trump. It's also because the quality of association that he has built are the ones that helped him to get to where he is. I mean, there were even people that were practically donating up to $1 million every day just to ensure that he wins. At the end of the day, all of them are all making a lot of money, and their net worth, has skyrocketed in billions of dollars. And so association is going to be a very critical success factor in 2025. And so one of the things you want to do is to be very, very intentional about the kind of association you keep, review association, find out all the relationships that you have that are not empowering you to achieve results for yourself. You've got to review whether you still want to have them ahead of the new year. You don't need to quarrel with them. You just need to be able to define who belongs where, so that you can, you can ease off all the weight that you have, so that you can be more light, you can be lighter to take out and to fast track your journey in 2025. And I said one of the things you want to do if you want to, trying to build be part of a very successful, very, very, very quality association is either you want to become part of a community or you build a community yourself. And lastly, I said that as exposure and travel has become part of the global game. And so you've got to be very intentional about exposing your mind, traveling around the world to expose your mind so that you can achieve even a bigger success. Guys, if you've learned, again, there are so many other things you may need to do. Let me know the things that resonated with you in this video, and you can drop it in the comment section below, where I will also be in the comment section to learn from you as well, to learn your thoughts. What are the things that you're going to do more of ahead of the new year? What are the things you're going to do less of ahead of the new year, so that we can also keep ourselves accountable? I believe that you've learned 1 or 2 things from this place. If you've learned from this video, I want you to click on the subscribe button, turn on the notification icon, so that you'll always be one of the first to see my video every time I launch. I'm really excited to have you here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.